Hey guys, Chris here from the Patch Universe. A few months ago I made a video with my friend Ronald Jumarali from the YouTube channel Truth Seeker channel. We made a video on the Jokers, and he allowed me to take a part of the video where we actually discuss a Joker and I say my point of view in order to make my video today. So basically I wanted to show it to you and know what you think about it. So one of the things I want to say before you watch the discussion that we had, or the explanation that I gave, is that, my purpose with this channel is not just to expose what I know, but to learn from you and from the discussions that we can have. A lot of people are probably going to watch this video and know a lot more about the Joker than me. So if you disagree with what I say, or if you want to add something, please let me know in the comment down below so that I can learn something and so that we can have a discussion. Anyway, so right now I'm going to show you the video and enjoy.
Hello, welcome back to the channel with Chris and Ronald.
Hi guys.
Well, today we're going to talk about the three Jokers, and Chris is going to start. Hit it.
First of all, this is going to contain spoiler, obviously, because we're going to talk about the movie. So in order to be able to really develop my point of view and talk about it, I will need to spoil it a little bit. So if you don't want to be spoiled about these movies, you should not watch it, or you should not listen to me. So I know that there are different Jokers, there are more than these three, but in my opinion, when it comes to cinema, to the this media, those three are the most important. And Ronald, you've just said that Jack Nicholson is your favorite. Why is he your favorite? I'm actually curious to know why.
Just because he's a really good actor and he played the role very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he made all the Jokers look like nothing.
All right, so you actually think that Heath Ledger looks like nothing compared to Jack Nicholson, or you just don't like his version?
I don't like his version also. It's like different version, but I just like the actors, I'm not looking at versions or anything.
All right, I understand.
They just have to act the role good, act their parts.
Okay. Well, I actually personally prefer Heath Ledger, and I don't really like Jack Nicholson, because I don't actually like this version of Batman. Because I remember when I watched in 2005 Batman Begins in the cinema, so that was before the Joker of Heath Ledger, and I was so blown away by the movie that I wanted to watch a lot of Batman movies, and I watched this movie at that time, a bit after that, and I thought that was not really my thing. But anyway, today we are going to talk about the Jokers and the different Joker, and what I actually find interesting about the Joker, when you think about it, the Joker is one of the most emblematic, villain, like bad guys or antagonists in all the history of cinema and comic books and whatever. You've got a lot of antagonists in this field, but not many as emblematic as a Joker. You know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Maybe you have you're gonna see a movie with a bad guy, you may think that the bad guy is charismatic or is not charismatic, but you say whatever you want, whether you like him or not, you can't ignore the Joker. Everybody knows the Joker.
Oh yes, yeah. You don't want to know what he's up to. He's full of surprises.
Exactly. So I believe actually that what is actually really interesting about the Joker is that it's a representation of psychosis. When you see those three Jokers, whether it's the Joker of Jack Nicholson, the Joker of Heath Ledger, or the Joker of Joaquin Phoenix, all three of them represent a different version of psychosis. So the funny thing is that a lot of people compare the Joker to a clown, but the Joker
a clown.
Yeah, a clown. Yeah, sorry.
Why do they do that?
Because it's kind of a clown, especially the Joker of Joaquin Phoenix. But I believe that the inspiration for the Joker is more the Jester. You know the Jester? Let's check it out. The Jester from the Middle Age.
That was the clown long time ago.
Yeah,
500 years ago was called the Jester, not the clown.
Yeah.
The Jester became the clown.
Exactly. So But, when you look at it, because this is the card, for example, there. This look like the Joker when you look at this one.
Yeah.
That's really the Joker, right?
We have to put it more.
Joker and
double click on it or something. I don't know. I'll move. Let's move our faces.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is that in French, actually, the jester, c'est le fou du roi. Le fou du roi means the mad of the king, and le fou du roi could actually do a lot of things, at the court. He could make fun of a lot of people, and so you've got this idea that in this world full of rules, there is this character, the jester, who can do everything he wants. And in this case, doing everything you want is actually related to psychosis. So can we go back to the Joker?
What do you mean with psychosis?
Psychosis is like really completely mad to a degree that you can't
psychosis.
Exactly, you can't psychopath,
Psychopath. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But what is the Joker? The Joker.
Psychotic, you mean?
Yeah, psychotic. Yeah.
Not a psychosis.
Yeah, psychosis is like a
relating to denoting or suffering from a psychosis.
Exactly.
You're suffering
and what
from
is
a
psychosis?
The psychosis is then some sort of disease, a severe mental disorder in which thoughts and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality. So you don't have you lose a touch of reality.
Exactly.
You're like crazy. You're like not in the system or not with the people around you.
Exactly.
It's like you believe in aliens or stuff,
Exactly. So when you look at this, this is interesting because when you look at this, what do you think about? Don't you think about psychosis?
I think it's really...
It's like it's the picture, the emblem of psychosis.
Wait, let's move our faces from these jokers. I'd rather look at my face than these jokers.
Exactly. All these three jokers represent psychosis in a different way. So when you look at Jack Nicholson, is really the cartoony version of it, closer to the comic books, closer to the Mark Hamill. By the way, I actually went to a Star Wars convention a few years ago. It was in 2012, and I saw Mark Hamill on stage. He's Luke Skywalker.
Wow. What's his name?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Hamill.
Mark Hamill, sorry. My pronunciation is not always great. And he gave us a representation of him making the voice of the Joker, because he's the voice of the Joker in the cartoon. So, and also in many video games, So when you look at Jack Nicholson, it's really like the closest to the cartoony version. Like Tim Burton, kind of crazy, but in a way you would not believe in this version of the Joker in our society, in our world, because he's throwing painting, at famous paintings and stuff like that. He's being a twat actually. He's really being a jester, He's the closest to the idea we have of the jester in the castle of the Middle Age. But he's doing that without the authorization of anybody. So he's psychotic, but in a way that's not... I can't really relate to this kind of psychosis, not that I'm psychotic myself. But that's the reason why I don't actually really like this version of the Joker, even though a lot of people really like Jack Nicholson. And then when you look at Heath Ledger, it's really interesting because it's a psychosis, but in a way that we can believe in more, like a psychopath, like a terrorist, somebody like messing with society, and it's this idea, this picture that we have of the terrorist, of the criminal, So he's gonna paint himself to look like a jester or a clown, whatever you want, to really show that he doesn't care about the rules of the society. He just wants to play his own game, anarchy in that case. And the interesting thing is the Batman movies of Christopher Nolan, which I really like Batman Begins is still one of my favorite movies of all time. They're really trying hard to be related to the reality. They need to try to be realistic. So this is the most realistic version of the Joker, But it's being seen as the antagonist, So you have the cartoony version of crazy version, Tim Burton version, because he's really like a son like that, you know, and you've got always like that. And then you have the more realistic version, the real psychopath, the guy that you would be really afraid of if you saw him. I would be afraid of Jack Nicholson too, you know. So that's interesting. But now the one I want to talk about, the one which is really interesting to me, is the Joker of Joaquin Phoenix. And there is a bit of a controversy around that version of the Joker. So Joaquin Phoenix, it's actually this movie. It's actually a drama, you know. So you don't see the Joker straight away. You see Arthur Fleck with a crazy guy, but it's not a bad guy. He's trying to take care of his mother. He's trying to have his place in the society. He's trying to be a clown to make people laugh. But society is giving him a lot of shit. And he's already psychotic in its own way, but not in a dangerous way. And then it turns more and more dangerous. The society gives him the justification in order to actually really act like a psychopath. So what I find interesting, because some people told me, one of the critics I heard about this movie, some people say, but it didn't need to be the Joker. You could have done a movie about somebody becoming psychotic without him being the Joker. And I'm going to tell you why I disagree. It's just because the Joker is such an emblematic figure in our society that we actually relate him again to psychosis. So this movie, the Joker, in my opinion, shows how we all have this potential of psychosis. Sorry, that's quite pessimistic what I'm saying here. But you know what I mean, you know? All the Jokers, all the psychopaths that we have in our society, we can all do that. And it's like, how can somebody become the Joker?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
all right.
We have it already in us. That's
exactly
what you're trying to say. We all have a little bit of Joker in us.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is like, okay, you know, you have the cartoony version, you have the bad guy, the terrorist that we see, for example, here. We separate ourselves from Heath Ledger. We are gonna separate ourselves from Jack Nicholson. The closer you get, you know, Jack Nicholson, there's a big separation because we don't really believe in him. It's kind of funny, whatever. Heath Ledger, we see the terrorist that we see on TV, the criminal, that's the criminal. And when you see Joaquin Phoenix, you say, man, I feel bad for this guy. And to some degree, we can relate to him. So we're not all psychopaths, but some people can go in that way. So the interest of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is how can people actually come from being just lost to being complete psychopaths. And so I like the symbolism around that. When he starts putting his makeup on and stuff like that, it's when he starts accepting a psychosis, you know. And I had a conversation with a friend. It's actually really aesthetic. So there's this acceptance of this craziness, this madness you have inside yourself. So that's what I think interesting. That's why I think it's interesting. So it shows our society completely crazy, and it's completely crazy. Like the politicians being corrupt, the psychiatrists giving us a lot of drugs and transforming us into the Joker because they're like feeding us with drugs. You know, the people acting like crap, and all these things create terrorists. They create criminals. So that's why I wanted to say that these three versions of the Jokers give us a different perspective, and that's something I find really interesting. I'm really passionate about that, as you can probably tell, you know?
Yes, I hear. But what you say is quite interesting. That we all have a bit of a Joker in us. That's why this character appeals to our fantasy or our psyche. You know, we're like, oh, we have like a bit of feeling that part of us is this guy. You know, but it's not there like in abundance. It's like very small. Part of us, you know, but it's like we're all sometimes jokers, you know. We make jokes or maybe some cruel jokes, you know, just to get a laugh or.
That's really cruel.
But we don't like do it to the extent that the Joker does, you know, like burn people in acid or stuff. You know.
But then if you watch the last movie, it takes a lot of time before becoming the Joker. You know. Bit by bit, it becomes a bit more the Joker. You know, so that's why it's interesting.
It's like it's not really a Joker. It's actually a criminal or a psychopath. It's like a mass murderer.
But then the murder becomes a joke in itself, which is
Serial
the way
killer.
it is when you look at psychopaths. You know,
It's a killer.
they murder people, they destroy society, they set the world on fire, and that makes them laugh. You know,
A Joker should make people laugh. It's like for kids, you know. It's like making fun.
The thing is, the Joaquin Phoenix,
But
Arthur
this
Fleck,
is not. Yeah. This
Arthur
is like,
Fleck can't make people laugh. That's something in the movie. And the funny thing is that when you will see Arthur Fleck, you know, the guy, and then the Joker, and then Arthur Fleck looks like somebody who's without charisma, somebody who doesn't have any self-confidence, and then you've got this Joker, really aesthetic. You know, there's a lot of beauty in this makeup, the way he dresses, the way he acts, and also there's this dancing. You know, like becoming a Joker. Bit by bit, it's becoming more and more beautiful, and then you have this fascination for something that you should not be fascinated about. You know.
I understand. I totally agree with you. It's very, yeah, it's a very good layout of what the Joker is. I like your perspective.
Thank you.
It's a good view on the Joker. Yeah, I also see the extension or the opposite characters. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He goes from a normal person, not really normal, but a psychotic human being,
Yeah.
and he grows into this super alien stuff. What do you call it? Superhuman being. It's gone into this
The superhero, the
superhero villain. Yeah, he
Super
gets
villain.
like superpower. He turns a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he turned from human to a super creature. So there's like a transformation, you know.
Exactly.
Turn somebody else.
Exactly.
So if you like look in my perspective, like in different universes, you know, maybe we are maybe a part of this super villain is part of us in our DNA or something, or some of us has it more than others, and can transform into this other creature or person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to say is, what you're talking about, parallels, goes from a human to this beast, animal, strange-looking
that's like-
monster.
Actually, who is the least human?
I'll say it's
according
not.
to you?
It's a joke. It's the cartoon figure. It's
Yeah,
the
like
least
this.
human is Jack Nicholson, I think.
And
He's
the
like
most
totally,
human is Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Okay, so what I am thinking about now, I'm gonna now do like a 180 degree.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the discussion. So one of the things when I made that video, I was not feeling that great, so I hope you didn't notice that too much. So right now, please, I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comment down below what you know, what you think, and if you agree, if you disagree with what I said, and if you have something you want to add. And that's really the kind of videos that I really wanted to make. That's something that really fascinates me, like art, cinema, stories and everything. So I'm really happy that I did that, and I wanted to thank my friend Ronald Jumarali for letting me take a part of the video and for inviting me to his channel. I'm gonna put a link of the full video in the description so that you can see the full video and so that you can also see his channel. Have a good day.